What's up guys, Dennis here, another video for you. Super important. Once I figured this out, helped me out a lot. In this video, I want to talk about structuring your life, structuring your day around the things that are important to you. Here on my whiteboard, you're going to see a couple categories, right? Finances, health, relationships, personal growth, and what I would call side goals. Now, what you see here is, for the most part, my particular categories, and these categories represent areas in your life, right? Or in this particular case, areas in my life, but areas in your life that are important to you. Now, I believe that every single person should run through this particular exercise. Now, what this entails is writing down, thinking through, processing what's important to you. The best way that you can determine what areas you should be working in on a daily basis is by asking yourself this: is this going to be important to me in 5 or 10 years, right? If it's going to be important to you in 5 years and 10 years, then it's important now. What you do now is what's going to determine where you're at in those 5 years and 10 years, right? That's why this is so important. It's so easy to go through life, just going to work, you go out, hang out, you go out for drinks on the weekends, hang out with friends, watch a movie, and years pass by and you're in the same place as you've been 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20, 30 years, 30 years ago, right? This is an exercise that everybody should do. Once I did this, it made things a little bit more clear, removed some of the confusion as to what's important, what should I be working on, do I feel productive or not? Am I productive, right? And one thing before I even jump into this too much, I just want to mention what most people do. This is where I believe the people drop the ball. What most people do, right? Their goal is to go to school and get a good job. That was the goal handed to them by somebody else, right? And most people accomplish that goal. They get their bachelor's, they go maybe get their master's, they get a job, right? And because that was the only goal that they had or someone else gave to them, they accomplished it, but they don't do anything after that, right? And years pass by and they're in the same particular place. And they still have goals that aren't met, things that they haven't done, and they're not where they should be, right? What this is going to allow you to do is take control over your days. Once I did this, what it really allowed me to do is realize that I can wake up every single day with intention and purpose and motivation. You should know before you go to sleep what you're going to do the next day. When you wake up in the morning, you should know what you're going to do that day. It gives you clarity, it removes all the confusion, and it makes you truly productive. It makes your days truly productive. What most people do is they'll go to work 8, 9, 10 hours, right, including commute, and to them that was productive. That was a productive day. Do not allow yourself to be fooled by the idea that because you went to work that you were productive. Yes, productive, going to work is a good thing. You have to do it. But productive doesn't mean that you really accomplish anything, right? Because you could clean your house. Did you accomplish anything? No, because your goals, you haven't touched your goals yet. It was just something you needed to do. There's a difference between essential and productive. There are things that you do in your life every single day that are essential, but they're not necessarily productive. They don't get you anywhere. They don't move you further along. You don't get any closer to your goals. What this allows you to do is determine what areas are important to you, what areas are going to be important to you in the future, and what you need to be working on now. These are overall categories, overarching categories, and you might have things or goals that fall under these particular categories. For example, finances, right? You might think that finances are important. Most people are going to have this on their list, right? Now you might want to get out of debt, pay off credit cards. You might want to pay off your car. You might want to save a certain amount of money. That sort of stuff. You might have under finances. Health might be you want to become a vegan or a vegetarian, or you just want to eat healthier, want to cut out certain things. You want to prepare your own meals rather than going out to eat so much. That sort of thing. You want to lose weight or gain weight. Relationships. You might want to spend more time with your friends and family, significant other. That sort of thing. Maybe you don't have a lot of friends. Maybe you should network more. Maybe you should get out there a little bit more and make new friends, right? Personal growth. Maybe you want to read better, read more. Maybe you want to, write a book. Maybe you want to, be a little bit more spiritual and do that sort of thing. And side goals is what I would consider. Maybe you want to buy a second car or a new car, or you want to move into a bigger apartment or buy a house, right? Or something that you might not necessarily put under finances, but those are still goals that you have. Maybe you want to buy a guitar. Maybe you want to learn how to play, music or whatnot. These are goals that you have. And one thing to mention too, that these things should be things that you can check off. Whether it's a week from now, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, you can check these things off and say, I accomplished them. And if you didn't accomplish them, you should be able to know where you are in the process. These are absolutely, absolutely critical. When you wake up in the morning, you say, today I'm going to do this, this, and this. Now there's a purpose between, or there's a purpose in your day, right? Rather than just saying, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to brush my teeth, I'm going to get ready, I'm going to go to work and come home and just be tired and do nothing. What this allowed me to do is realize, number one, once you have this list filled out and the subtasks, your sub goals associated with those, you're going to realize how little time you have. And number two, you're going to realize that if you don't work on any of these in a particular day, you just wasted that entire day. That was one day that you lost to work on any of these things, right? Don't be fooled by thinking that because you went to work and you came home and you're tired, you're physically tired, you were productive. Your productivity is everything you do outside of work. When you clock out, you clock back in when you get home. This is the stuff that you work on. These are the things that are important to you. Work is something whether you like it or not, right? Or you might enjoy your job or whatnot, but that's something that's essential. But these are things that are important to you, right? Your finances, your health, relationships, personal growth, and your side goals. There might be other things that I don't have on here that might be important to you, right? And this is crucial. Every single person should go through this exercise because this is what's going to give you purpose in your life. This is what gives you clarity. This is what gives you guidance, right? You wake up and you know what you're trying to accomplish every single day. And you can make this year, the rest of this year, or whenever the heck you're watching this video, you can make that year your most productive year. Because I can guarantee you most people don't do this. Most people don't do this. And there's nothing, they don't know what their goals are. They don't know what the priorities are. They don't know what they should be working on a daily basis. They don't know if they hit their goals or not. They don't know where they are in their goals. Nothing, because until you do this, you don't even know what's important to you. Once I did this, it was like, okay, now I know what I need to do. And what this allows you to do is spend time in the areas on a daily basis that actually mean something, right? Because when you go to work, what you're doing is spending 8 hours in an area that means something to somebody else, right? You're working on somebody else's goals. And you can do really well at accomplishing those, but you get home and you have a list of ones that you haven't even thought about yet, or you haven't even touched. You might not even have touched your goals for months. And that's all lost time that you're never going to get back. What you want to do is spend time in at least one of these areas every single day. And that's going to make you feel great because now you know you're working on certain things that mean something to you and you only, right? What ends up happening is if you're just focusing on one area, this is from experience, if you focus on one area, if you don't get results as fast as you want in that area, now you feel like you're stuck. You're only doing one thing, so if that thing isn't going as well as you want or planned, well then now you feel like you're stuck, like you're not getting any momentum, you're not making any progress. The beauty about working in different areas is certain things might not happen when you want them to. But you could be doing other things and getting results in those areas, right? It might take you a while to get your finances right? You might take, I don't know, a year to pay off your credit card debt. But you might also be trying to lose weight, and you could spend 20, 30 minutes a day working in this area. And even though this might take you a year, in a year, you might check off the 10, 15, 20 pounds you wanted to lose, right? So you always have places to work in your life. Always have things, to feel good about. You're always working in areas that are important. And then you could truly be productive. This is absolutely, absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. I absolutely recommend that everybody do this. Figure out exactly what's important to you. Put it on a whiteboard. I wiped all the stuff that I had here just for this particular video, but put it on a whiteboard and say, these are my goals. I want to pay off my debt. I want to save X amount of money, right? I want to lose 15 pounds. I want to spend more time with my significant other because I work too much. I want to, go to church more, or I want to explore other cultures and their spirituality or whatever. And you could do whatever it is that you want, put on this board, right? But write them down. Write them down. And now that's when you start respecting your time. When you say, I have these 15 goals that I want to work on this year, right? You might not hit all of them, but I have these 15 goals that I need to work on. Now you know that you have goals that you need to work on. So every single day that you go without working in one of these areas, you're going to feel like crap. But that's a good thing, because you should feel like crap if you're not working in these areas, right? If one day you're like, you know what, I don't feel like working out, maybe you're not kicking yourself in the head because you're not doing this one today, right? But you might say, okay, today I'm going to spend time with my wife. Today we're going out to dinner, and we're going to go watch a movie, or we're going to go stay in a hotel, and we're going to go to the beach, and we're going to do whatever. This one might be important to you. So it's okay if you're not working in all of them at all the time, right? All times. But you're always working in a particular area. And again, you want to make sure that these are areas that you can check off. Eventually, you can say, at the end of the year, you can say, what did I accomplish? Oh, I paid off my debt. I bought a new car. I moved into a better place. I wrote a book or whatnot. And I spent a lot of time with my significant other. We're doing much better because I'm not just working all the time, and she's not just tired, and I'm not just tired. These are the areas that are going to mean something to you every single day. This is what affects you. This is what affects your circumstances. This is what affects your lifestyle every single day. So as a responsible person, I think everyone should do this, right? This absolutely helped me out because I knew exactly where to work every single day. Every single day. And if this might not be for everybody, right? There's certain areas that might take up more of your time. It all depends on what your resources are and what your goals are. And like in the time frames and your sense of urgency. Right? You might need to pay something off in 6 months, and someone might be fine paying something off in a year or whatever. It all depends on the money that you have, the time and the energy that you have. You might not have so much time to maybe focus on personal growth because you might have 2 kids and a wife at home or whatever the case may be, and that's fine. So whatever you do, make sure that it's sustainable. Make sure it's sustainable. It gives you places to work, and if you don't feel like doing this today, you can do this today, or you can focus on that. Or you can focus on this, or you can do these 2 things and focus on here, and you go checking things off and feel good, right? Because you're working on stuff that's important to you. You came home and you worked on what's important to you. What you want to do is, if you want to get anywhere in life, you need to understand that the 8 hours, 9, 10 hours that you put at work, that was for somebody else. That was for somebody else. It wasn't for you. That was just something that was essential. Nothing wrong with it, but that doesn't move you forward. You spending 10 hours at work does nothing for your health. Spending 10 hours at work does nothing for your relationship with your significant other. It does nothing for your personal growth or spiritual growth. It doesn't do anything. There's areas that you haven't touched, and if all you think is productive is working, then you're dropping these plates. Your life is spinning plates, spinning lots of plates all the time, right? That's what life is. It's a spinning act. You're just spinning plates, and sometimes you're gonna drop the plates, right? But what you don't want to do is spin one plate forever. You're not going to be satisfied. You're not going to be happy because that's not what it's about. You have other places to spin. If you spend all your time here, this place is gonna suffer. If all you do is want to work out and eat, you might not have time to hit your other side goals. Maybe you're not working enough, focusing on your finances so you can buy that car that you want. It's all a balancing act. You're spinning plates, right? And make no mistake that there's a balancing act to carry out. It's not just all finances, not just all personal growth, because you need all of these things, because life consists of all of these, and any that I might have missed here that are important to you. This is crucial. This is crucial. When you get home, put in hours into what's important to you. That's what's productive. That's what's productive. You can say, today I worked out half an hour, right? I prepared all my meals for the next day. I have, fruits and vegetables instead of, Chinese food or whatnot. Oh, you know what? I'm 2 months away from paying off my credit cards. I've been in debt for 5 years, and because I'm focusing on it now, I can see the end, right? When I get home, I know what I'm working on, right? And you might go to work, and then it might affect this one, right? Or you might say, I've been spending tons of time with my significant other, with my wife or whatnot, and you might be doing great here. And if you didn't write this down on a whiteboard, if you didn't focus on this, if you didn't see how important this was, if this wasn't a priority, if you didn't realize that what you were doing outside wasn't actually helping you here, if you hadn't done that, then you might not have the relationship that you want or need with your significant other, right? How many people, have issues in their relationships because people always focus on this guy all the time, right? I know what that feels like. So you have to focus on all the other different areas, right? And it's okay not to work on all areas all the time, but do something that's sustainable. Write down your sub goals under these. Create your overall categories. You might not care about personal growth, right? Or you might not have any side goals. You might be perfectly fine. You just have these. Whatever the case may be. Write down your sub goals. Put it on a whiteboard and give your day's intention. When you wake up, you know, okay, I'm spending too much time doing this, and this, and this. What I ended up realizing is, okay, well, I have all these goals that I want to work on. I want to be productive all the time. You know, when I get home from work, I need to do this, this, and this. Now I'm productive. I know, okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to focus on here and here and knock it off. Now I was productive. I did something for me outside of what I did for this employer, right? Employer XYZ. The rest wasn't for me. This is for me, right? This is what moves you forward. In 5 years, you can have accomplished all these things, and you can be sitting pretty. But if you didn't take the time to realize this, if you didn't take the time to write this down, if you didn't prioritize any of this, if you didn't have the awareness that you were not being productive before, in 5 years, you'll still have all these goals that you still have that you want to hit, or that you never even thought about, that you just realized, man, I have goals that I actually want to accomplish. Now I know why I wasn't happy all the time, because all I was doing was this. This is where 99% of people spend their time. Work, 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 work. And then 10 years later, still here, and this is going to the shit. Now they're completely out of shape. They're the same person they were 10 years ago, with the same friends. They still haven't moved out of that house. They still want, you know, this car or whatever the case may be, because you're not doing any of these. Because you're still here. This doesn't get you all your goals. This doesn't get you all your goals, man. So you got to work on all of these. Work on all of these. This is the beginning to a life of fulfillment and true success and overall satisfaction. It's not just this. We're taught that this is where it's at. And the key is, this is the problem. When you chase this and you never get it, then you never have the realization of the time to even start focusing on the other areas, because you're still here. You're still here working on this all the time. One day I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this. This is the goal. As long as you're chasing this is good. But this is going. How doesn't matter how much money you have if you're, you know, about to die of diabetes or whatever, or you can't even go up a flight of steps without being exhausted. That's not cool, right? So everything. Work on everything that's important to you. You should do this. Your significant other should do this. You should have joint goals maybe. That would be pretty cool. But this gave me a lot of structure. That I knew when I was being productive, when I was not being productive. I knew cleaning a house was not productive. Washing a car was not productive. Fixing that thing that broke is not productive. It's necessary. Maybe it's essential, but it's not productive. If you want true productivity in your life, you got to go working on these areas and checking off the goals that mean something to you. And you don't have to wait till January 1st to say I have goals. It's been on your whiteboard all year long. And you can be leagues ahead of everybody else. When somebody says, oh, it's January 1st, I want to lose weight. You've been working on that for 9 months. You're good. Come January 1st, that's not even your goal anymore. You're good. Now you can just check these off. I'm good. I just want to maintain. I just want to eat healthy, whatever, keep my habits. But I don't care to lose any more weight because I checked that off. Right? That's how that works. My relationship with my wife is perfect because I've taken some time away from here and here and here. And now we spend, 3 full days a week together or whatever the case may be. Right? Your happiness lies right here. This is your area of productivity. These are the areas that matter. At the end of the day, in the long term, it's all right here. It's all right here. What you do outside of work is what matters. What you do outside of work is what matters. So I hope you guys got something out of that. Comment if you have any questions. Let me know if you got something out of that was valuable to you. This was a big one for me. I like this topic, and I've been meaning to do this video for a while, so I wanted to include it in the series. And I think if you do this, you're going to realize what I'm talking about. You have a lot more intention in your day. You have a reason to wake up. You're more motivated. There's no confusion. You know if you're being productive or not. And you won't fool yourself. Once you get home, don't allow yourself to be so tired that you don't have the energy for what really matters. If you're going to work for somebody else, you better be putting in time for you too. This is where you put it. So, hope you guys got something out of that. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.